What is going on, you guys? AK40 Kevin here in the gamer heaven. So we have a leak, just a leak, but a good one, about an upcoming March event for Xbox, following the heels of PlayStation and Nintendo's recent events showcasing their hardware and software for 21 and beyond. So let's talk about this thing. Alrighty guys, sharing my screen here, I have an article pulled up. I have some pretty highlights on here that I've made. This will be linked in the description below, as I always do cite my sources anytime I'm covering news or any kind of leak, so you guys can educate yourself as to the full details and whatnot. So there was just a PlayStation State of Play event as well as Nintendo Direct. So Xbox is kind of lacking a little bit in the event department. They haven't really showcased a whole lot of new content. Now, this is leaked information, so just take it with a grain of splooge and try not to swallow it too deeply, because you never know if it's going to back up on you. But as of now, it seems like Microsoft is going to be holding what they call the What's New for Gaming. That is what they have historically called some of their events in the past. Event on March 23rd of 21, so that's next month, coming up pretty soon. And there's not a whole lot of detail around this, but they're probably also going to showcase a What's New for Windows event directly afterwards. So it might be broader than just their gaming. It might also go into the whole gaming industry as well as the tech space that Microsoft surrounds, and where the Xbox might actually go with cloud gaming. Now, unfortunately, guys, cloud gaming is not ready. It probably will not be for about 7 to 10 years. They took it out of the oven for a little bit with the Google Stadia and NVIDIA GeForce Now streaming platform, and they tasted the chicken a little bit, but it hasn't reached internal temperature yet. It's not even seasoned. It's pretty bland. So they put it back in the oven. Cloud gaming, guys, this is my personal opinion, as well as several other content creators out there with bigger brains, bigger channels, and bigger schmeckles than mine, that cloud gaming will not be ready for nearly a decade. People's internet speeds in North America and also other parts of the world, as this is a global movement here for cloud gaming, isn't where it needs to be. And also the hardware and software behind cloud gaming, it just isn't where it needs to be. So hopefully they steer clear of cloud gaming like the plague and focus their efforts on getting the actual Xbox Series S and X into the hands of the actual consumers and away from the bots and scripts of scalpers, because that is a major issue. In fact, even Big Daddy Biden over here, I don't know why I just called him that. It's kind of gross. But even neck sniffer creeping on you on the weekend, Biden over here says that he's going to investigate personally, because, you know, he's got a PS5, obviously, in the White House. He's trying to game with some of his buddies, and he can't match make with them because they're still on old generation hardware. And it's starting to get frustrating for him. He's bringing in the Secretary of Defense and whatnot. And he's like, why can't I match make with my boys on Xbox Live? And he's like, sir, why don't you try PlayStation Network? And he's like, well, I've been trying that, bro, and I can't get with them. So, you know, he's going to personally pull out his monocle and investigate the situation with the shortages. I mean, we already know what's going on here. They're battling with auto manufacturers for silicon parts like printed circuit boards, because auto manufacturers can't even put their, you know, touchscreen infotainment systems in cars because there's a huge lack of production due to the old coffee cough pandemic. So that fucking sucks. So that's what's going on there, Joe. I mean, if Joe would have just called me directly, because he knows that I have an upcoming blossoming YouTube channel around the video game community and the tech gadget space, he could have just called me directly and been like, hey, AK40 Kevin, do you know what's going on? And I would have been like, yeah. And I would have just given him the breakdown like that, and he could have saved getting an article wrote about him. But this is good journalism right here. I think whoever wrote this is very articulate. They use the word clamoring, as in us gamers are literally just shaking in the nether regions. Our thighs are trembling with luscious beads of gamer sweat dripping down to the nether regions in an effort to get news about these upcoming consoles. That's a little bit of a exaggeration or an overstatement. I might be overstepping my bounds a little bit, but I think we are ready for some news, boys. Now, this over here really tickles my fancy, boys. So they did acquisite. There was an acquisition from Microsoft of Bethesda Studios. You guys know Bethesda. They make Skyrim and the Fallout series. They bought them for $7.5 billion, which is by far the largest video game studio acquisition in history. Previous to that, it was around the 400 million mark. So $7.5 billion. That's the kind of money Microsoft is putting into their gaming division. So if you ever are worried that they're not putting in time, money, or effort into Xbox, just wait to see what they do with their Bethesda acquisition. They could easily make Bethesda games exclusive to Microsoft, so Windows 10 PC and the Xbox consoles, but they said they didn't want to step on PlayStation's toes like that, or even Nintendo, because you can play Skyrim on the Switch. So they're not trying to step on any toes, stub any niblets. They want to be cordial in the gaming industry. So, I mean, we'll see. I feel like they need some exclusives. They might have to buck up and nuck up with Sony and just be like, sorry guys, we bought them for $7.5 billion, so we're gonna go ahead and have this on our console. But they might be revealing new games from new game from Bethesda, which would be really cool. Maybe a new Fallout or maybe a new Elder Scrolls or something like that. And they might be also showing off Starfield as a new exclusive or timed drip exclusive for Microsoft. And Microsoft is still wheeling and dealing, so they might be acquiring other game studios like they did with Bethesda. They probably won't have to break out their wallets quite as deeply as they did with that Bethesda acquisition. And they're also going to most likely update on some other upcoming titles. Definitely Halo Infinite. We'd like to see another gameplay footage showcase that doesn't have that meme of, you know, Craig the Grunt with his face all blowed out. Just looked terrible. But Avowed, Fable, State of Decay, Hellblade, these are some Xbox exclusives that have been rumored and haven't, or not rumored, they're happening, but they haven't really been substantiated on with any further gameplay footage or any news around them. So as of now, that's what we have, guys. Not a whole lot to grab onto here, but, you know, try and grab it with both hands and just give it the old churn and butter Amish twist. That's all you can really do with these news articles, boys. If this video was entertaining and informative for you guys, liking the video helps it to get seen by others. Shoving that thumb up there really ticks the YouTube algorithm when you test its colon like that. Subscribe for more content like this. I do a lot of news around the gaming community and industry, as well as tutorials on how to get you guys, yes you, I'm looking right at your eyeballs, right at your pink eye and your brown eye, getting you set up streaming and YouTubing. So if that kind of content interests you, consider subscribing and joining part of the Stallion family over here, and I'll see you guys in the next video. Peace. It's a British salute.